today's video we'll be watching David's Worse Than You Imagine. I kept a little bit of a track on what David got going on. I seen about how he, cut her hand off and all that crazy stuff. But honestly, my best opinion I can give is just that I don't believe bro should be in a jail. I believe he should be under the jail. But with that being said, let's get straight into the video.
We're finally getting kick-started with this David case, and we're going to get a lot more
Shit, bro. Let me know. I'm telling you, bro. I'll do a little here and there or something, but just for right now, I just need somebody to be able to put the clips together for me.
information in the future, and we've had a couple of bombshells dropped. The first one we're going to start off with is the medical examiner, because if you guys remember, TMZ was really getting into it with the LAPD because they had a source that was telling them certain information. LAPD was kind of disputing it, and then eventually they revealed that their source was the medical examiner, and the medical examiner put out their actual report. So now we can read it, and we're going to go through that first because it details how they found the body. We're going to talk about what they're alleging he did to the body, how the murder happened, and we're also going to go into the actual first day, which this stuff just gets more and more horrifying. And my statement that this is going to be worse than the OJ case, I'm standing on that, even though some of you guys disagreed. But we're going to get into that in a moment. So here it says, in the body examination, I observed the decedent's posterior head and torso lying prone in a body bag inside the front trunk of a Tesla.
That's crazy.
Her head was
bro.
oriented.
I couldn't imagine actually seeing that, bro. That's the craziest part. And she passed away at only 13.
Towards the north. She appeared at an indeterminate age and ethnicity with dark.
I'm not gonna lie, you're so right. I could do that.
Dark hair and natural teeth. So he can't even tell the age. He or she that was observing this cannot even tell the age when viewing this body. That's how long it had been decomposing for. She was wearing a tube top, underwear, leggings, and socks. I observed multiple holes in the front and back of the tube top. So were these gunshot wounds? Were these stab wounds? Front and back. She was missing both arms above the elbows and both legs above the knees.
But they said that she was burnt up. So how did he burnt her and put clothes on her? I don't think
the body
so.
was a black trash bag that contained the decedent's apparent compiled bilateral arms and legs. They appear to have been dismembered into several fragments. This is the thing. Dismembered. That was the argument that TMZ was having, because they were saying, wait, hold on. They're saying the body decomposed and fell apart, but we got information that tells us that it was dismembered, which means it was intentionally cut apart. The decedent was in an advanced state of decomposition demonstrated by foul odor, discoloration, liquefaction, insect activity. So there's insects, parasites somehow got their way into.
And it's like this man had her sitting there for months before they actually found the car itself. Like, bro, if you're gonna do that, like, bro, why would you put in your car?
Partial skeletonization and skin slippage. This has my skin crawling, and it upsets my stomach. Imagine you open the trunk and you see this. This is horrifying. I noted an approximate.
I didn't really listen to his music. I heard it before, but I didn't know about it.
Defect on her left flank. The left ring and pinky fingers appear to have been mutilated, and I did not locate them during my scene examination. So the fingers are cut off. This is, how if you've ever watched Dexter, you should watch Dexter, the original show. I don't know about all the other ones. I've watched one of the ones that have come out recently, but the original show, the guy would just take a sample of blood, the serial killer. They all had their own thing where they would take something that reminds them of the person or the people that they killed. And the guy Dexter, he would take a drop of blood from every person and put them into these blood slides. And everyone had their own thing. There is no reason to cut the fingers off. You could even potentially say, let's just take this into a twisted world of logic. Okay, he catches
He's just
the body,
sick, bro.
Right? And then he's like, okay, I got to get rid of this body somehow. Right? You can follow that logic.
That's what I'm saying. If he was going to get rid of the body, why didn't you just fully get rid of the body instead of keeping parts of the body?
He doesn't want to get caught. Okay, cut up the body, move the body somewhere, dispose of the body. that has nothing to do with cutting off fingers and keeping them on you, because the fingers would be
Exactly.
on the body too. You wouldn't want to keep anything with you for evidence. So this is just some twisted stuff here. She has a tattoo that reads "Shh" on the inside of her right index finger. I did not observe any other discernible scars or tattoos. And these are two images that show the information that we just looked over. So it shows where the left flank is. It shows where the stabbing
They even
happened.
said
So
that
they're
her
saying that this
eyes
guy
was gone and
stabbed her up,
shit.
and then
That's
it
crazy.
has all of the different details, like multiple defects here. It shows the missing fingers. But some important details that TMZ brought up were the fact that they said the medical examiner used the word may, which is something the defense will jump on. It should also be noted that the medical examiner says there were multiple superficial linear abrasions on the right dorsal hand. It does not say whether or not these could be defensive wounds. So maybe she was trying to fight back, trying to hold the hands back, and then that's how she got sliced up. And the medical examiner says that the left and pinky rings were amputated, but the body showed that her right pointer finger with the tattoo was intact.
That's crazy.
This will also be an interesting issue at trial. The autopsy report says there is a presumptive positive for methamphetamine and MDMA, but there was another screening which says methamphetamine was inconclusive.
This girl literally was 13 and she's ingesting methamphetamines and MDMA in GTA and this man was just letting that happen, and he was
MDMA
like
not
giving it to
detected.
her.
The report says Celeste may have had alcohol in her system, but it did not contribute to her death. Keep in mind.
Oh my! See, if it just took a little bit of reading, it said it was not detected. Was in. Oh yeah, it said that it wasn't in his system. My
In her
bad.
system, but it did not
But
contribute
alcohol,
to
okay.
her death. Keep in mind, they were saying that it was April 23rd that the body she was first killed. And on April 24th, 2025, just hours after
Damn, I've been streaming for
prosecutors
2
said that
hours.
he killed her, his management had a album release party in LA that started at 8 p.m. And this is the thing, like a lot of people will say, yo, this guy's sick and twisted. He just went like business as usual. I do think that the guy is sick and twisted, for sure. I mean, beyond sick and twisted. We're going to get into details of that later. However, if he started acting weird right now and canceled some of these things and didn't do them, I think a lot of people would be looking into it like, yo, what happened to this guy? What's going on here? But the ability for him to keep composure is very, very odd. That's why I think he's.
That's the part that I
complete
don't
psycho.
understand. Like
And
for
then
6
it
months,
says
he was
David
just
then likely took a
chilling.
red-eye flight to New York afterward. All of his managers were in Los Angeles for the party, and this is Steve Fisher, the guy that's been investigating this case a lot. The house that Celeste was lured to, according to prosecutors, was leased by his management company. So the question is, who knew what and when did they know it? Keep in mind, it says David took a red-eye flight to New York afterward. This was also mentioned by his friend at the time and collaborator. I'm not saying they're friends now. Live streamer, one of the biggest live streamers, Jason the Ween.
Yeah, that boy
situation
was
with
saying
David?
Yeah.
he didn't
Yeah,
do it.
he didn't do it.
He's not a murderer?
No.
Thank God, bro. Because I was still going to listen to his music. I was just worried that
Crazy.
I'd be an if I did.
No, listen, he didn't do it. He literally performed the next day. If he was a suspect, the police would have been after him. He's not a suspect.
He's not just escaping.
Yeah,
the
they
police
were
clutches.
saying that. A lot
No.
of people were
And
just
I'm gonna
saying
perform.
that he
We're
already
gonna perform on the
was.
20th, me and David.
They
Six in the
already
wing. Let
seen
me do
stuff
it.
about
Make it.
this
So,
Celeste girl
you think
before
they
they.
Rule him out.
Oh my
can't
God.
rule him out?
Can't rule him out.
I paused the recording. Well, stopped the recording and then started again. My bad.
Damn. No way. No.
You know what I did think was incredibly soft? I don't
But
know
like,
if it's
how
true.
do you steal a Tesla though?
Huh? Wait, so you think it is him?
Exactly.
No, I
'Cause
don't
how
think
do you
it's
steal a
him.
Tesla?
I don't think it's him because he's been on tour.
No,
But also,
I
how
don't
do
think
you
it's him
steal a
either.
Tesla?
I think it's like almost obviously not him. But what's weird is that Crocs dropped him.
Yeah, why would they do that?
That's weird.
Yeah, and Hollister. Like, what? Why would they do that?
Just in
Guilty
case,
till
bruh.
proven
And then
innocent?
look what
No.
happened.
Innocent until proven guilty.
So this was Jason the Ween in another clip saying, yo, he couldn't have done it. He had a show the next day, or he caught a flight the next day. Well, you shouldn't speak too soon. The house that Celeste was lured to was the same house that a lot of these people were throwing parties at. And then Steve Fisher goes on and says, so the question is, who knew what and when did they know
That's
it?
what I'm saying.
April 23rd and 24th were not quiet, uneventful days or nights. David had just performed at Coachella. His album was being released, and a party was being held in his honor.
It was just too
There
much
were people
pandemonium
around
in the
him,
whip.
and he was the center of attention. It's difficult to believe he had much time completely alone. So who knew what and when? If you attended the party, and this brings back any memory of David or others in his immediate circle acting unusually, if you were at the rental house, if you saw Celeste around April 23rd, 24th, please
Hold up.
contact the LAPD Robbery Homicide Division. And then he's, reaching out to people saying, hey, look, you can talk to me. We got to get this case solved. And he even shows a text that was sent on April 24th, 2025, 6:33, a text blast. The host of Withered album release party. Party kicks off in 90 minutes. When you arrive at the 100 Thieves compound, this is a different building, though. Please enter the parking.
I just never understand when people who are in these big positionings like decide to throw their whole life away for like something stupid.
So this isn't the same. This isn't a house. The 100 Thieves compound is somewhere else. But a lot of people had to be around the house and around David while this is going on. So where did he get the time to clean up all the blood? Because if we know now that it was a stabbing that happened, that means there was blood. Blood on his hands, blood on his t-shirt, blood on his clothes, blood dripping from wherever he had to have dragged the body. And nobody sees this. One thing that's very rare is for an artist to just be alone, especially an artist of this caliber. But things would get even worse because Traplo Ross, who showed up to the case, like this is going to be worse. This guy is what they tried to label Diddy as. To be for real, like Diddy had nothing to do with kids whatsoever, but for some reason that's attached to his name.
But he still was a bad
I'm not
guy.
into that Diddy stuff. No, that was Epstein, okay? But this guy, I'm just gonna play you guys the clip right now.
And I want to be careful how I say this, but apparently he had illegal videos on his phone, and apparently there are so many illegal videos on his phone they can't even send the videos and the upload through the cloud because these are illegal literally videos. I'm talking A minors. It's illegal for you to send these. It's illegal for you to watch these videos. So the discovery in this case is so sordid.
And it's just like, if they really got videos like that, how the hell he got it so much? So much.
And apparently there is so much discovery. There's like 40 terabytes of discovery. So much information.
They've
got all of his entire iCloud, and they're saying that it's so big that the courthouse system for sending discovery, for sending files, videos, documents, is
that's what I'm saying. iPhone of all things.
Since David got arrested, they've only managed to upload about 30% of all of the terabytes that they have. They said they have all of his iCloud account, and they even said it was funny because they said, look, we need some storage. We either need to have an update of the online system so that we can transfer all of these files, or we need the defense to give us hard drives. And it was pretty funny because at one point, Blair Burke from the defense, they pulled out a hard drive and they said, well, we've got 5 terabytes for you here right there. And Beth Silverman said that ain't even nearly enough. 5 terabytes ain't going to do nothing. We got 40 terabytes. And they said some of these files are so big.
40 terabytes.
Some of the files are 10
Why do you even need that much,
you need
bro?
an entire hard drive to even just put one file. Like, there's so much. So they got his whole iCloud. He's got illegal videos of minors
facts.
that are
40
apparently illegal to
terabytes.
send. And for people to actually, in the defense, to go and look at those videos, they're going to have to go to a special room in the courthouse and watch it on an approved computer because you're not even allowed to load up this type of content on a device. It's illegal, all right? I don't want no parts of what they got going on with that. But also, apparently they had wiretaps on David. Apparently they had a wiretap going. I don't know how long for. I don't know if it was from when the crime happened, if it was even a period.
They probably
when,
was listening to this man
they were investigating
back his fist the whole time, thinking that nobody knew.
There was already
They knew he had all this content.
They had a wiretap on him, and apparently that is so extensive, the prosecution haven't even heard all of it yet, and they're basically waiting to have it skimmed through because as well, they've got to be careful that nothing on that wiretap goes against attorney-client privilege. So that is likely to mean that that wiretap was probably recorded.
So they got more. There's more storage on your computer than you actually think, is what you're saying?
During the period when David was still out here, but the crime was announced.
So Traplo Ross was there day one. They said this guy just walked out in the shackles, and this makes things even worse than we ever thought. Number one, we'll go through the end. This guy was wiretapped, and he was still yapping. This guy was, the fact that he didn't get a different phone, the fact that he didn't think to himself to, I don't know, use something that can't be wiretapped, something that's encrypted to have conversations on. No, he just kept going business as usual. Makes me think that this guy was just stupid. Because one of
Yeah.
the things that was stuck in my mind, and if you've been watching for a while, I'm thinking to myself, why the hell is he going through all of this to just leave a body to decompose?
And that's
for
what I was
4
saying the whole time. Like, bro, if you're just gonna do that anyways, why didn't you go all out? Why didn't you like actually like not saying like I'm glad he got caught for sure. I'm super glad he got caught. But if you're gonna do that, why would you even leave the evidence behind? Just leave it in the trunk.
months. How do you do that? Like, you don't even try to, I don't know, drive off somewhere and dispose of it, dig a hole. I don't know,
Facts.
like do something. No, you just let it decompose. And nobody was even looking for her either. So this just makes me think that, yeah, the guy might just be dumb. And it was just a stroke of luck, I guess, that he was able to get this far. Probably because nobody cared to look for her. That's likely what allowed him to get away with it for this long. But I do think there were other people that were working with him. There's no way that he goes a day later or that same night, catches a flight to New York, and then what's the body doing at that point? You know what I'm saying? And then the CP on the phone. So this guy's got terabyte. They're talking about this guy's iCloud is full of it, so much so that they can't even send it because sending it is a crime. Because Celeste, when he got with her initially, she was like 11, 12, and even when she
Crazy.
died, she was like, what, 13? So, and then keep in mind, Celeste may not be the only girl. There's probably several of them that are in that age range. And all of the material that he has of them, especially of that nature, are
And guess what? You guys used to listen to his music. Yes, you watching this video right now. You used to listen to his music.
major crimes. Now, he hasn't been, because this would be a separate charge, and this would likely be a federal charge for possession of CP, or I don't think he distributed it, but possession of CP, and he hasn't been hit with that. He did get hit with the charges of continuous SA of the minor, which we covered in the previous video, and that's directly for Celeste. But he didn't delete any of these, although, yeah, he could have deleted them before they reached out and got the wiretap, because it takes time to get the wiretap. And he's doing all of this while the investigation is going on. And this is why I said that this guy is 100% worse than OJ Simpson. Because think about it. Like, what did OJ, and this is going to be bigger than that. What did OJ do? OJ, he caught a body on his wife, right? Like, and OJ was like one of the most famous people in the US at the time, and athlete and all that. Well, people kill their wives all the time. In the
Bruh,
criminal
it ain't. You can't. You're not just gonna downplay
cases,
that.
right?
I know he's
That's
not trying to
why
downplay it, but
they
he's
look
just
up, and
like,
wives will
can't
sometimes
just
set up
downplay
their
it.
husbands to be killed by somebody. I remember they caught somebody doing that in a TV show a long time ago.
Yeah,
That's
they
like
literally
a crime.
put her ass on a TV show, fake setting up her husband, but she was going to jail for real because she was trying to real set up her husband, but they fake
Passion.
set her up.
Right? And they're married. He just so happened to be. But how often is it that even a regular person is with someone that is 11, 12, stays with them, and then catches that body, and then cuts that body up, and then disposes of the body, and then is on social media joking, and their brand is all about killing and caskets, and he's on tour. He's on tour with these caskets opening up, and he's doing funerals at every show.
That's crazy.
This is some stuff that you could
that supposed to be like a
only
dedication
script
to her?
in a horror movie. This is why I say reality is stranger than fiction. A fictional writer, somebody that's writing up a story for a show, they couldn't even come up with this because they'd be like, that looks too fake. That wouldn't happen in real life. People wouldn't resonate with it. But here we have it happening in our real lives. This guy did it. And
Imagine in that exact moment when he was singing
wouldn't
whatever
resonate
song he was
with it.
singing
But
right
here
here.
we have it.
He was just thinking about it the whole time.
it happening in our real lives. This guy did it. And it's so sick and twisted that it does make me consider who were this guy's friends and how do you
Yeah, that's
not
what they were
see
saying.
this? Especially if you're a close
And they said
friend
that
of
he
his.
even released
Now,
a song on her birthday, like the song talking about
I
her
do
dying.
like, for example, Jason the Ween, that guy, I don't believe that he was a close friend of his. I think he was
Yeah, of course
a
not.
surface level friend, right? A collaborator. But if you knew
But
this
he
guy,
shoulda-
if you
yeah,
were in
he shoulda
Discord
kept it
servers with
quiet.
him, if you were in group chats with him, and you saw his behavior and you didn't think like, yo, this is a guy that I want to get away from, I don't know, because this is somebody that's capable of doing something like this and holding all the CP. It was over. There was no way that this guy couldn't have killed her. That's the thing. Or he just screwed himself over from the
Yeah,
beginning.
but who
Just
helped him?
getting
That's what I
involved,
want to
because what is
know.
she going to do? Stay silent her whole life? You can't pay off her silence forever. And that's why I cannot wait to see this guy get the worst of the worst. They're saying that the death penalty may be brought forth. I sincerely hope so. And I
Hold up.
remember in a previous video, I was like, yo, I really don't like Spotify taking down music. And I still hold on to that. I wholeheartedly
Wait, they took his
believe
music
that
down?
music should not be taken down because of whatever reason. Like, allow the music to be there. That doesn't mean you promote it. That doesn't
Yeah.
mean
If people
you
listen
tell
to it, they
people
listen
you put
to
it
it.
on playlist covers, cosigns, or anything like that. But it's the principle of it, because once it's removed for this, and this is like the worst case scenario we have seen thus far, then you get to move the goalpost in whatever direction you want. It's not a principle anymore. However, me personally, like I said, I haven't listened to his music since then. And I was listening to his music before. I like this guy's music. I didn't listen
I
to the
only
Withered
know
album,
the one
but the
song.
red one was good. The Here Was It Here With Me, the EP? That one was good. The Withered album, I never even checked that one out. But I can't listen to this guy's music. And R. Kelly is somebody whose music I can listen to. Who else can I think of?
Yeah, like any sick, perverted person has never been as sick and perverted as him. As far as we can at least know, Bill Cosby was in there slipping stuff into people's drink, and Diddy was over there having Diddy offs where he was doing baby oil and stuff. The only other person that, but like if we're talking about famous in that regard, we're talking about Diddy, R. Kelly, not even Bill Cosby, but even Bill Cosby. But Epstein, he wasn't even in the like celebrity category. He was a celebrity, but he wasn't a celebrity for real. So I wouldn't even put him in that category. So this has been technically, in my opinion, the worst celebrity. I need to slow down when I'm talking, but it's been the worst celebrity to ever do something crime wise.
Yeah, that's probably the only person. Diddy, but Diddy was, let's keep it real here. Like, Diddy
In
was
this
beating
regard,
on
at least.
Cassie, and that was that. Like,
Yeah.
that's a lot of rappers. NBA YoungBoy, Famous Dex. Yeah, these guys are putting hands, paws, and feet on chicks. And that's not, like, this David stuff is so hard to stomach that I can't listen to the guy's music. I cannot look at the music the same. It's kind of like Frank Ocean, right? Like, some people, they just stop listening to Frank Ocean.
I don't even listen to Frank Ocean. But with that being said, I hope you liked the video. I hope this nigga get what he deserved. The death penalty, low key being generous, bro, because I feel like he should rot in prison for the rest of his life. But if that's what they decide, that's what they decide. But I hope you liked the video. Make sure you go over to the Twitch and follow. We're at, I believe, like 10 or 11 followers now. I'm trying to become an affiliate so we could be running it up on Twitch as well. But as far as that goes, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on the videos and stuff. And
Okay, bye.